Hello everyone and welcome back to more Knowing Wheel, episode 116, I think, of your favourite Formula 1 show. And of course, as always, I'm joined this week out actually by a very sniffly Jamie183, so I apologise in advance if he just yaks up over his microphone or something.
You'll have to forgive me for the noises you hear coming from my nose today. But if Matt really cared about the viewers, he'd edit them all out. So
that would be a lot of work with how nasally you are as a podcaster.
Yes, it would be. So I'm here. I've soldiered on through the day, heavily drugged up, and we've made it to talk about some F1.
Exactly. And of course, I think, the elephant in the room, first of all, no Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix last weekend. Of course, I think we were all disappointed, but obviously we can understand why obviously nothing did go ahead. I'll make sure I leave a link down in the description below, of course, to the sort of Formula 1 and I think the main donation page, of course, if you want to try and obviously help the efforts going on out there. Of course, some truly obviously awful scenes, hasn't it, Jamie, over the last few days. And I don't think we really understood the full scale of it until sort of the aftermath, and then you were kind of there going, yeah, now we can really see why Formula 1 is not able to host a Grand Prix this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And when we saw pictures of the paddock on Tuesday and Wednesday, feet underwater, it was crazy. So
absolutely,
not all the best to the people there.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Of course, the operation has been very swift up to this point. But yeah, of course, that meant that we had no Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix last weekend. Of course, today would normally be where we were discussing the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. So it's kind of going to be a bit of a weird podcast because it feels like half the things we were gonna discuss last week, or the things that we can discuss this week, we kind of already discussed last week, isn't it? With some bits and pieces.
Yeah.
For example, the big one being the Mercedes B-spec car.
Yes, and that has obviously been put off a week until Monaco now, and Monaco is never really the track where you get to see car performance massively. It's a very unique track, is what obviously we all know that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it does make a difference, but it would have been cooler. I think when we get to Spain, for instance, the week after, that will give us more of an indication of if it works.
Yes.
So yeah, but Monaco has always come down to the drivers a little more, which is probably bad news for Mercedes. So.
And I think Mercedes, we've both agreed before, probably have the strongest lineup on the current grid. But I think the other big thing, of course, with Monaco is it's never really suited Mercedes' car package either, is it? Because they like to go with really long wheelbases relative to most of the other teams. But yeah, so of course, Mercedes, again, this famed B-spec car. It might be that this B-spec car is actually only 3 feet long, exactly for that reason. So then hopefully they can try and win the Monaco Grand Prix. But it's not really the ideal testing ground, is it, for a B-spec car? You wonder whether potentially it could have been worth saving it for Spain, which of course has historically been a fantastic track for testing a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing, their main priority this week is don't bin it and don't mess up all the new parts he's bringing. But we'll see. It's always been a difficult. Hamilton's not been great there over the course of his career. Obviously, he's got 3 wins.
No. Which is bad by Hamilton standards, isn't it?
Very bad by Hamilton standards. But yeah, we shall see if the Mercedes are on it this weekend. But I kind of expect the Red Bull style cars, such as the Red Bull and the Aston Martin, to be a little bit ahead. And obviously Leclerc's always quick there, even if it's only for 1 lap at a time.
I mean, this was the sort of big 2 talking points, wasn't it? Of course, can Leclerc did what he do at Baku and get another pole position? Of course, we just know how good he is. And of course, the way he was able to get pole in Baku was all about being brave on the brakes and really threading the needle through the corners, which of course Monaco, that is more important than any other circuit on the calendar. But yeah, I mean, always now when we come back to Monaco, isn't it? It's always the Charles Leclerc curse. Will this year be the year he breaks it?
Well, he's never got a podium there, even, has he?
No.
Which is just
he's
incredible.
Only finished once, which was last year, and that includes junior formula.
Yeah, and driving around in a 1976 Ferrari as well.
Yep.
So, yeah, I feel like no one's really talking about the curse of Charles Leclerc yet. Obviously, we've got a week to go to Monaco, so I'm sure it will come up. But I think this will be the year he gets a solid finish.
And what are we saying by solid finish? Go on, Jamie.
I reckon he's got a good chance of a podium.
Okay, fair enough. But of course, other talks surrounding Charles Leclerc and Ferrari at the moment. a news report which we are going to preface first of all by saying it was an exclusive by the Daily Mail, so take from
great.
that whatever you will. Apparently, and we have seen it from a couple of other sort of rehashing Twitter accounts and websites today as well. Apparently Ferrari are very, very interested in signing Lewis Hamilton still.
And it's been the big story all year, really, hasn't it? I feel like we speak about it most weeks at this point. But yeah, it is kind of F1's worst kept secret that Leclerc is a bit unhappy at Ferrari, to say the least. And obviously Hamilton's not got masses of time left in his career. If he does want to drive for Ferrari, there seems like no better time to do it than now, because obviously he's no longer got the risk of giving up a winning Mercedes team like he would have done 5 years ago. So, yeah.
5 years ago, he probably could have still won the title that year.
That year in particular, have that, Vettel fans. Yeah, we will see, but I think it's probably the strongest, it's like the closest the rumours have ever been to being true at this time compared to any of the previous times.
It's so weird, isn't it? Because I know we've spoken about it before, like we said many times so far this season. But there is still that part of me that thinks, you know what? He's done pretty much everything he possibly could, apart from win with Ferrari. And let's be fair, even if it was just to win one race with Ferrari, that would still be quite special, wouldn't it? No matter how weird it would be, because of course, whenever we've seen Hamilton in a red suit, it's just been YouTube clickbait up to this point.
Yeah.
How almost cursed would it feel to see him win for Maranello?
It would be so weird. Like, it would almost feel wrong. But I remember feeling this similar thing when Vettel went to Ferrari. It was just
when Hamilton went to Merc.
Yeah, literally. And especially now if Max left Red Bull, it would just feel bizarre. But that's how it goes sometimes. And yeah, it's almost like whenever, like in football, if a player moves from one big club to another big club, it takes a bit of getting used to when they change kits. But yeah, if Hamilton did go Ferrari and even won a race, that would be pretty incredible to see. If he won a title, then that would be incredibly difficult to argue against for the GOAT debate anymore.
I think, the GOAT debate, if Hamilton did go to Ferrari and win a title, I think the GOAT debate would be firmly settled. Firmly settled.
He's only won with one kind of engine, which is very bad.
He has only ever raced with Mercedes power units, which is kind of incredible.
He's got the same number of different engines won with than Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, it's right. It's true. And Esteban Ocon. That is a really bad stat, Jamie, but thank you for it nonetheless. But I mean, of course, the other big, potentially exciting thing, Jamie, I don't know if you've seen this, we could be getting a Williams Golf livery this weekend.
I've seen that.
Oh, the prospect of that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and to be fair, the McLaren Golf livery 2 years ago now was extremely good, so it's going to be quite hard to beat. But
just make it the same.
Yeah, I worry that they're just going to stick a Duracell battery on the side still. But, well, yeah. I mean, you've got insider info now, clearly. But
obviously, yeah. I mean, James and Alex were talking about it all throughout the stream we did at the weekend. There was no mention of that whatsoever. Not even a hint, Jamie.
Yeah. I mean, the only shame is that one of them will probably be crashed or at the back. And then you've just got Albon chilling in the midfield, probably. But,
yeah,
you know what? For a Golf livery, I don't care what car it's on, really.
I mean, that's basically what happened in 2021, wasn't it? We had one get a podium and the other was chilling way behind.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know what? We take it. That is actually, though, Jamie, well, kind of not really. I'm going to segue over to your quiz for this week. It's a fairly simple one. We're going to actually... It's a similar one to what I did at the start of the season for you, if you remember, back in Bahrain. Really simple, Jamie. You are going to start from 2022, and of course, you know, it's the race that they all want to win. You're just going to rattle off to me previous Monaco race winners in reverse chronological order.
In reverse order, and I've got a limited time. You've
got a limited time, but as soon as you make a mistake, it's
here
done.
We go. 2022 was Checo Perez.
Correct. I was really worried then.
Verstappen.
Correct.
2020, there was no race.
Correct.
19 was Hamilton crying about his tyres all race.
Correct. The ultimate tired whisperer.
18. Ooh, who was this? Oh yeah, it was Danny Rick.
It was Danny Rick. You had me again worried then for a second.
Yeah. 17 was Vettel after he
Correct.
overtook Raikkonen. 16 was Hamilton with the luckiest win of all time.
How is that the luckiest win of all time? Explain that to me, sorry. Is it because
15 was
Rosberg was dog poo?
an absolute GOAT display from Nico Rosberg. 2014 was equally Nico Rosberg, as was 2013.
Yep.
3 in a row. What a GOAT.
Cheap,
2012 should have been Schumacher, but was Mark Webber.
Correct.
2011 was Vettel.
Correct.
Handed when there was a red flag late in the race.
Yep.
Would have won. 2010 was Webber again.
Correct.
Well, for the first time, I guess. 09 was Jenson Button.
Yep.
The Brawn 08 was another incredibly lucky win for Lewis Hamilton.
That one, yeah, I can't argue so much against.
07 was a McLaren 1-2, which was Alonso leading Hamilton.
Was. By an absolute ridiculous
an
margin
absolute
over
mile.
Ferrari, wasn't
They
it?
lapped everyone up to 4th. 06 gets a bit difficult. It was probably Fernando Alonso.
It was, correct?
Yes. 05, this is very difficult now. Was that the way Kimi's engine exploded and he went to the beach, or was that the year after? No, I'll go Kimi Raikkonen.
Correct.
Oh, this is 04 was the only one all year Schumacher didn't win, so that was Trulli.
Pretty much, yep.
03 was, I got baited into watching this race on F1 TV, and it's one of about 4 races all the time with no overtakes in it. It was one of the Williams drivers. Oh, I think it was Montoya.
Correct.
02.
Say no way Ralph Schumacher won the Monaco Grand Prix.
02, I expect, this is a guess, but I'm expecting it to be Schumacher.
Incorrect, Jamie.
Oh, who was it?
Your run of form comes to an end. I mean, you're over, but I'll let you have another guess.
It's done. Who else? I don't think it was Barrichello.
It was not Barrichello.
DC? One of Monaco?
It was David
Wow.
Coulthard. He won 2 Monaco Grand Prix, which, to be honest, I didn't know until now, yeah. I would not have put...
First ever podium was DC at Monaco as well.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, absolute scenes
take
there.
that.
So, I mean, 20 years you managed to recite then. It's pretty good going still.
And a lot of them were just there. I mean, Monaco is it's more iconic than Bahrain, I suppose.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's
I
still
like
always...
that style of quiz.
It's still always, when I look back, you know, between the mid-80s and early 90s, just Ayrton Senna. Well, what I actually did a bit of a deep dive, Jamie, this week, actually, into Ayrton Senna at the Monaco Grand Prix. And you could make an argument that he could have won. So, 1984, he also could have won had they not red flagged it. He was close enough on Alain Prost. Yep, that was when he was in his Tolman. 1985, I think actually... It was 1985. I think no, he didn't. I think it was 1986. He got pole, but the engine blew up early on. Obviously, won in 1987. Binned it from the lead in 1988. He could have won 8 or 9 of his 10 Monaco Grand Prix attempts, which is just insane. I mean, I think it was something ridiculous. Like between 1989 and 1991, he led every single lap all 3 years.
Yeah.
Had a 230 lap streak at Monaco.
A real driver's circuit, like the likes of Graham Hill, obviously early days. Senna's always been excellent. He was excellent there. And then, of course, you got Nico Rosberg winning 3 in a row as well.
Oh, behave. You're not seriously putting Nico Rosberg in the
Rosberg
same
was
group as
actually
Graham
very
Hill.
good at Monaco. He obviously shouldn't have won 2015. But
And he shouldn't have won 2014 either.
no, that was fair. Hamilton
It was...
qualified.
What? Deary me. Deary me. Anyway then, Jamie. Let's get your predictions in. Is it going to be a Monaco snooze fest?
I mean, the race always is. So, by 2023 standards, it'll probably be one of the best races of the season.
Probably.
But I do love Monaco. The qualifying day there is just so special.
It's all about Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the race will be boring, but it always is. So that's standard for Monaco. Predictions-wise, though, I will go Verstappen on pole.
Okay.
I'll go Verstappen to win, get his second Monaco Grand Prix victory. And then I'll mix it up and go Leclerc and Alonso. Perez street track that's hard to say. Street track streak is going to come to an end.
Oh, okay. Interesting then. So we're clearly going down very different routes here because I was going to see Perez on pole. Brilliant. Perez race victory. I think Red Bull are once again going to trade wins between their two drivers there. Of course, it has been Max Checo, Max. Is he going to be Checo again? Wait and see. But I'm going to say, Checo pole, Checo win. I am going to put Charles Leclerc P2. And I am going to say Alonso P3. I think Max is going to have a bit of a nightmare in qualifying and recover to 4th, is my guess.
Wow, that's bold. That's big.
It's bold.
That would give Perez championship lead, will it not?
I don't think so. Maybe it would. No, if he came 4th, I think Max would still be leading because, of course, they'd have 3 wins apiece. Yeah. 4th versus 5th, yeah. So, Max would still be leading by a couple of points, obviously, depending on fastest laps and all that kind of jazz.
You think Alonso on the podium? That's rare from you.
No, I know. We don't often predict Alonso on the podium. We get so much hate for it that I'm going to do it this week nonetheless.
I'm surprised he's not in Indianapolis this week as well, Fernando Alonso.
I mean, McLaren are looking rapid.
I was segueing
4 cars
to you because I know nothing about IndyCar, so there we go.
4 McLaren cars inside the top 12. They have looked like the best team there so far last week. Didn't get pole in the end. Alex Palau managed to nab that. But McLaren... I mean, did you know as well, Jamie? I only found this out last week. McLaren are the only team or company to have won Motorsport's Triple Crown.
Really?
Are really the only company that's ever competed in all 3 as well, but still, yeah.
I'm going to get this wrong. Was it Graham Hill who won the Triple Crown?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Did he win them?
Didn't win any of them with McLaren, no.
No, he won none of them.
I don't think he won a single one with McLaren, I'm pretty certain.
Actually, McLaren won a team when he was winning in Monaco, was he, in F1? So.
Well, no, they can't. I mean, Graham Hill literally won the Monaco Grand Prix that McLaren debuted their Formula 1 car in.
There you go. Wow, you learn something new every day.
You really do. You really do. I mean, that has been a very, very short show, though, but I don't think there's anything else too much to discuss, Jamie? Anything else you can think of? Like we said, a lot of it's kind of just been dragged over from last week, hasn't it, sadly?
Yeah, unfortunately. Do we think Alonso's got a chance of winning, or do you think Red Bull are going to just stick with it?
I think Red Bull have still got enough in the back pocket. It might be that Alonso and Charles can get close.
I think the Monaco circuit, generally brings teams closer together. It's you know, on a regular circuit, I don't know, like a Barcelona.
It might be because most Formula 1 drivers now are more competitively placed than the cars they're put in.
Whisper that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we shall see. I think Alonso is probably pretty hopeful this week that he will.
This has got to sensibly be the chance that you can upset and disrupt Red Bull.
With a normal race, this is probably the best chance of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Stroll will definitely be about 13th.
Oh, Stroll will, be P16 in qualifying again or something stupid.
Yeah.
But thank you all.
Thing.
Oh, carry on, sorry.
I know we mentioned last week quite a lot about De Vries and Daniel Rick, but the rumours have been going on even more since, really. So, do you think De Vries will keep his seat in 3 races' time?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Okay.
He'll get to the summer break.
Let me see what Liam Lawson did, because I saw he competed.
He won.
Formula.
He won again. Yeah.
Wow, get him in.
I think De Vries will make it to the summer break, and then he'll get kicked out for Liam Lawson.
Lawson's winning the Super Formula Championship. Get him in F1 right now.
He's probably not.
No, he is.
Because he's... No, sorry. I thought you meant he was going to win the title.
Oh, no, he won't win the title.
He probably won't, because he'll be in the AlphaTauri.
Yes. But there we go.
I mean, the other question I've still got from that is how much then, when Lawson actually gets in that car, are we going to realise Yuki Tsunoda's still pretty bang average?
Yeah, well, I think Tsunoda would... I think they'd be very closely matched.
Yeah. Better than putting Ricciardo in and potentially having Tsunoda thrashed about. But you don't know. You just don't know.
We don't know what goes on in Marco's head, to be honest. So.
Not a lot, I don't think, to be honest. But yeah, thank you all so much, as always, for listening. Like we said, a very, very short show this week. Hopefully, normal broadcasting will, of course, resume in the near future. But the threat of rain, Jamie,
It's there again.
The threat of rain once again here for the Monaco Grand Prix. Are we going to get a similar race to last year? Only time will tell.